Okay, well, I agree with that. However, my experience of living in this country for so long, and I still believe that it's one of the greatest places on the planet. I mean, I have no, I escaped from communism. I have no other place. There's no other place to escape to. This is this is final destination,
Right.
Elon. For me, there's no place to go from here except maybe to the top of the mountain. But I'm not interested in doing that. Okay, so what's interesting about it is what I've noticed is in a way I don't see a whole lot of difference between what I experienced in a communist country than I'm experiencing here. You know why? Because the top 10% of the population in the country that I came from control the rest of the 90%. And it's no different here.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that financially.
Yeah, the rest of the population are just busy with themselves, trying to figure out what to do, basically repeat every day, day after day. It's like, what do we do as human beings? We get up in the morning, uh, go to the bathroom, grab something for breakfast, get dressed, go to work, go through the motions of work. We pretend to work. The employers are pretending to pay us. We come home. We turn on this great thing called television. We eat actually even in front of it, and also consume all the garbage, all the confusion, manipulation, fear, and force that they give us on a platter, over 900 channels at a time. Then by the time it's 11 o'clock, we go to bed, and the next day we repeat it. What do you think about that, Elon?
Well, that's
Is this
probably
too
the
confronting?
no, not at all. But that's the reality for people who choose to have that reality. And the good news is that we do have the ability and the basic freedom to choose. Now, it may require changes that many people are not willing to make. But I encounter people, see people doing many different things with their lives, and they have the opportunity to be true to themselves, their path, whether they want to be musicians or live on 4 acres and grow some crops. There's a lot of potential here. There in any system, especially in our system, there is the potential to just become a consumer of what's being given, but there's also the opportunity to evolve and be who we want to be. I mean, that was my college work, the individual in modern mass society. The underpinnings are there, but everyone gets to choose whether they have the consciousness, the ability. It takes a lot of strength to free ourselves from whatever is holding us back, whether it's personal, financial, spiritual, whatever history we have. Absolutely. But the possibility is there. And historically, there are people who have freed themselves from whatever their surroundings were. I mean, I know people who lived through concentration camps and became incredible human beings. I know other people who were completely broken and never recovered. That's true of so many different, examples that we could use. And that's why, like, the work that you're doing now is critical. We all need to be reminded of the potential that we each have. And every day we need to try and open ourselves up to a little bit more of that, however we do that, whether we say intentions or affirmations or, go to pray or meditate or listen to, networks like yours. There are opportunities that don't exist in a lot of other countries. And that's what I think we have available to us here. The potential to grow and change is here for us. It may be that there are decisions being made and people being paid 1,000 times what their employees are. I think that's absurd. But it's also, what is it that we want to fight and what is it that we want to do? If someone wants to take up that cause, I think that that's great and that's important. But there's also a lot of personal things that we can evolve. And, I've heard it said, the first thing we need to do is free ourselves, our mindset and everything else, and then the
Yes.
rest will follow.
Yes, and I believe that where that comes from is for people really to learn how to live in the present moment. Because the people that I was speaking about, and I'm just being a devil's advocate,
Sure.
sometimes people think that the way I speak sometimes is what I really believe, like that's my mindset, and that's not true. I do things for the reasons of entertainment and for the reasons of of being the devil's advocate.
You and Stephen Colbert.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
And, but yes, the real solution, I believe, is for people to go back and remember what they forgot. Because I remember when I was born and a little kid, how pure I was, and I really experienced what is like to be an incredible human being. I already know what that's like. Everybody knows, because we all went through it. And then all this stuff happened, and we forgot, and now it's time to remember. And everybody can do a great thing for themselves, and I've done it for myself, so I'm leading by example, and that is figure out who you really are and what your passion is, and live your life from that place. Because once we do, it's no longer work. And then we can really enjoy. Everybody came here, I believe, for one reason only. Whatever that is. Everybody has their unique gift. And I just want to encourage everybody to go for that. Because there is no other reason that I can find that makes sense for me to be here for.
Well said.
And I don't want to be a machine anymore. I've done that. I can't go back anymore because I gave it up. I don't want to be a machine anymore and get up every morning and go through the motions. No thanks. Can't even do it. It's impossible. So, Ilan, I wanted to talk to you about also finance, but this is what happens when we are on a conscious network, is that time disappears. And 30 minutes is really less than a minute, at least the experience of it. So I wanted to talk to you about something really important, and I'm going to delay the show just for a couple of minutes because I think it's critical. And that is, a lot of people are going through some really tough times right now. Financially, people are losing their homes. They don't know what to do. People are not educated when it comes to finance. What do you recommend? Because I also believe that we haven't seen the real stuff, the real numbers yet, in terms of what the big banks are doing. You know, they like to hide things. How do I know? Because I was inside. A lot of problems that we think we're over, there's going to be, I feel, a lot more foreclosures coming, because a lot of stuff hasn't been made public and hasn't been put out there. Because if they put it all out there,
yeah, we get scared.
It's absolute chaos,
yeah.
Revolution. It's over. So they're feeding it to us in terms of what they think, how we can handle it. But I want to take a different approach, and that is, what do you recommend? I feel a lot of people still have their head in the sand in terms of what are they doing. So if somebody is, 2 months behind on their mortgage. In this country, we've been a two-person working family. Both the husband and the wife goes to work full-time to be able to afford the nice things that we have accustomed to here in the U.S. And that time has really changed. Now people are losing one of their incomes. And when that happens, they can't keep it up anymore. So what do you recommend specifically? Do you have a process that people should go through?
Well, the first thing that I advise everyone when they're looking at their financial situation is to find a trusted advisor. There's a lot of people out there masquerading, they know a little bit, they're not ethical. I mean, there are those, this is the kind of a situation, as you referred to, the chaos, where there's a lot of charlatans around. Here in California and elsewhere, we had the loan modification movement. We had incredibly ill-equipped and unprepared people suddenly becoming experts and advising